Meditation will not only give you mental peace and emotional balance, science has proven study after study that it will also be incredibly beneficial for your physiological and psychological health. Most importantly, if you're tired and stressed all the time, how are you going to be happy? Or what's the point of anything in your life if you're going to feel miserable? What's the point of having more money? What's the point of finding the relationships you're dreaming of if you're going to be feeling miserable in the end of the day? But sometimes it's difficult to implement. It's kind of difficult to find the time to see it and the motivation to meditate or do other things to improve your health. Let me give you reasons why you should actually be addressing this today. Before ranting and give you a lot of reasons why stress is bad, which is something you kind of already know, let's review why stress is there in the first place. That's sweaty hands, rapid breath, the increased heart rate, the fear of dying. It's all actually a very appropriate response when you're in a threatening situation, life-threatening situation. Imagine 4,000 years ago, our ancestors just walking in the woods and finding a poisonous snake. The appropriate response for that will be just jumping or just running or doing something. For that, our body needs to release certain kind of chemicals. So it turns out that all these uncomfortable feelings and symptoms of anxiety and stress are actually for a good reason. The problem with our modern lifestyle and why we have so much stress, or our bodies feel so much stress, is because we feel we are all the time exposed to these stressful situations. Whether breakup, or you're losing your job, or you don't have enough money, you're always under certain kind of pressure, but that pressure is psychological, it's not physical. But your brain doesn't know that, so your brain understands that you're actually facing a life or death situation. As much as many people are threatened when nobody likes their Instagram post, actually they're not gonna die. The important thing to remember is that every time you're stressing yourself out, you're actually poisoning your own body. We basically train our brains to worry about a lot of things that are not that important. We've been trained to think that behaving good, as other people define good, is exactly what you need to do to deserve love. And that puts us in a constant stress since we are kids to look for approval outside of ourselves. Of course, I don't mean that you should be careless about the problems in your life and you shouldn't react. Of course not. The point is how you psychologically react to that. And most importantly, to take note on how your body is trying to tell you, stop that. One of the reasons why people don't stop is because everybody's stressed, so it's kind of normal. But also because they don't understand how bad really is in the long term. If they will understand that if you're stressed for your career in the long term, ultimately, what's the point of achieving anything in life if you're not going to be good enough to enjoy it? To change all these stress patterns, this way of reacting we've been trained since we were kids, it's going to take some kind of effort, but the effort starts with having a good motivation. Motivation is based on having a good reason. So let me give you reasons why having stress on a regular basis is a really bad idea. Science says that having a very stressful life and not doing anything about it will lead you to have heart attacks, high blood pressure, your immune system will weaken, you will be more prone to be ill. On the mental side, it will develop anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. In terms of cognitive function, you will notice that your memory cannot stand and you forget things all the time. But also in concentration will prevent you from doing anything efficiently. You will be not as good at your job or in relationships. Just listen to other people can be very challenging if you cannot concentrate. You will also become fat and diabetic. Your body will age quickly. You will have all sorts of intestinal problems and acid reflux. You will have difficulty on falling asleep at night or maybe to stay sleeping during the night. You will find physical discomfort and emotional distress all through your life. And on the top of that, you have way more risk of getting chronic diseases. When you ask someone why they are so stressed, the answer you will get is that they are stressed because of someone or something outside of themselves that they have no control over. And the truth is, we're all going to find problems in life. You're going to find difficult people in the street. You're going to find annoying people at work or even your family. You're going to have money problems at some point. So let's face it, that's going to happen to everyone. But the part that everybody's missing is that you actually have freedom to react in different ways to the same situation. There's not only one way to react to this angry person. The difficult point in here is that we feel locked in seeing what's happening in one specific way. We can perceive the situation only in the way we've been training our brains to do so. So it takes some time to recognize that you could be responding to the same situation in a different way. And that's how it's done, really. That's all that it is to it. As Einstein said, you cannot find the solution at the same level as the problem. That means that whenever you find a problem in your life, the only way to solve it is by finding a new way of thinking about it. If you have a specific problem that life is pointing you over and over and your body's getting stressed and giving you all the symptoms of stress over and over, that is your body and life in general pointing at you something very important you should be understanding now. Or most importantly, that you should be finding a new way of understanding it. So it affects you in a different way. You don't need to solve the problem with that person. You don't need to solve your economic problem right away. You just need to find a new way of psychologically understanding it so it doesn't cost you your life. But many times we think that the stress itself is helping you to react with a little more edge to the situation. But that's obviously just wrong. We get that feeling because you had this adrenaline punch. That's why many people still stress, because when they're getting tired, they're getting blurry, they just want to find a way of stressing themselves, or sometimes through chemicals, because they find, I feel a little more clear when I do that. But that is, you are triggering the stress response. And if you do that continuously, something really bad is going to happen to you. But that extra kick of adrenaline we sometimes feel that is making us react to the situation better is actually not true. When you see how you react to people and how you react to lack of money or even health problems, you will notice that every time you react from this desperate position, you're always not reacting in a good way. You better just sleep over it, think about it twice, and go again when you're ready. Ultimately, you will react worst. If you get angry, if you get sad, if you get desperate, any reaction from that stressful point of view is just not going to make it any better. You can find a way of dealing with the same problems you're facing right now in your life and find a new way of dealing with them that doesn't make you lose your mental balance. Let me say that again. You can go through life without losing your mental balance no matter what, but it takes training. But with the intention of being helpful, let me go more specifically to suggest an exercise you can do to improve this. Before you start your day every day, you could already at this point guess what are the kind of topics and things that are going to trigger your stress, right? So take some time, take a notebook and a pen and write down what the situations are. Then make another column where you write how are you reacting at this point to that situations. And make another column where you write down actually what would be an improved way to react to the same situation. It doesn't need to be a lot better. You don't need to play Jesus or Gandhi or anyone. You just need to find a slightly better way. You may not find a completely new way of behaving, or you may find it too difficult. Just be honest with yourself and find something that you can do a little bit better every day. You may take a few breaths before the situation is about to trigger you. Just find a new way of thinking about it that doesn't make you feel so bad. If you do this over time, you're going to be improving a little bit. That means that you will lose less and less energy every time you face the situation. Will make you over time gain some extra energy that will make it easier and easier to find new improved ways to deal with the situation and therefore accelerating your progress. I recommend you to make this more effective, to keep a diary, to keep a place where you can log in before the day starts. You could do it at night or you could do it right in the start of the day, depending when you think you're going to be able to find time to do it. And then write down the new improved ways you want to respond to the situations. Be specific, depending on the day, depending on how good you feel, and just decide to be a different person when the moment comes. If you know when that's going to happen exactly, you can always review, take out your notebook or your app, and just review exactly how you want to respond to the situation. Of course, you're going to find difficulties trying to apply this, but don't give up so quickly. As far as you are deliberately choosing how to react before the situation comes, you are already making a huge difference. In the worst case, even when you end up failing again and reacting in the way you didn't want to react, you're going to start learning about it. And you're going to have a bit more of a gap where you can decide if you go for that or if you don't. It's going to grow. You're going to feel more and more steady, feeling in this neutral spot where you can decide how to react. But you need to practice that. But being this channel about meditation, of course, I'm going to recommend you to practice meditation every day. But when it comes to the moment where you can decide to behave in this way or the other way, that power is exactly what you practice every time you're meditating and you decide to keep focusing on your object or whatever kind of meditation you're doing, you're practicing letting go. And that letting go is exactly letting go of the problem that you're facing every time and the frustration that you feel about it. You can let go in general all the problems in your life just by meditating every day a little bit. Feel free to start with this meditation. I will be uploading more meditations. But probably if you guys go on YouTube, or there are so many apps nowadays that give you the chance to practice meditation in sort of like an entertaining way, start with that and definitely do it before the event happens. I hope you find value in this video. Thanks so much for watching till the end and see you next time.